Hello, Meoni here, and welcome to the fourth boss guide for Eden's Gate, the first wing of the new Eden raid added in 5.01. This is Titan as our fourth boss, or at least a messed up imagination of him, thanks to the Warrior of Light. The first thing you will actually see in this mechanic-wise is Voice of the Land. This is your standard room-wide AoE to heal through, and this is spammed throughout the fight. Next we have Evil Earth. This actually marks a square on the platform with an orange block. This block then spreads outwards to other blocks in succession. You simply need to stand on a block yet to detonate, wait for the previous blocks to explode, and then move to where it was to avoid damage like so. Weight of the Land is next, which marks 6 blocks randomly on the platform. Move from these before they explode. Stone Crusher is your tank buster that you'll need to heal through, and then you'll have the ability Crumbling Down cast. This puts rocks in the arena and 2 proximity AoEs. Run to the north with your group to avoid the proximity damage, and then run behind whichever of the rocks is not glowing, and make sure you block line of sight with the boss to avoid damage from his new casted ability Seismic Wave. Now you will see Geo Crush. This is a large scale knockback with loads of arrows. Go close to it to prevent yourself from being thrown off of the arena. Obviously stand somewhere that's going to knock you safely. Eventually the boss transitions and says, "Tempered in the flows of the mountain's core, my rage is eternal," which signifies the beginning of his cast of Massive Landslide. You will need to be directly in line with the boss itself, or you'll be punted off like this. This mechanic returns throughout the fight. Bomb Boulders is where Titan throws out boulders in the room. One of them is much bigger than the others. We stand here in between 2 small ones on the edge of the arena, as far away from the big boulder as possible so we don't take damage, as that big boulder has a massive AoE explosion for that side. After more Voice of the Land AoE damage and Geocrush knockbacks to deal with, you will eventually see Titan transform into a go-kart type thing. For this you will need to stand at the side of the boss with the most amount of platform available, like this, as he now casts Fault Zone. This will knock you backwards, so don't be too far from him or you will get knocked off the arena and die, which happened to me quite a few times my first time. Then simply avoid the blue lines as they fade to avoid getting knocked off by those as well. Earthen Fury does massive AoE damage and applies a filthy debuff, which is a damage over time to your character. Heal everyone to full before this goes off and heal the damage after it goes out. A rotation of tank busters and AoE damage will go out, along with more bomb boulders. Again, one of them is much bigger, so we go to decide where it isn't. And then this time in the latter stages of a fight we time our movements to when the bombs are set to go off, much like in the original Titan fight, to avoid damage. At the same time, Titan will now combine this with Weight of the Land with those 6 AoE squares to avoid as well, so try to keep on your toes and keep moving. Crumbling Down returns with Stone Crusher, so this time you have the proximity AoEs to avoid, then timed AoE squares that explode in order of when they went out, and then you also need to hide behind the non-glowing rock out of the line of sight of the boss again to avoid his Seismic Wave ability. Later we have another Fault Zone and a car transformation of the boss again. Again we're standing on the side of the boss with the most platform left, so we actually get knocked back safely. Only this time there are additionally multiple lines and it repeats a couple of times back to back, so don't be lulled into a sense of security when you see it finish, because it might be going again. This is very much of a dance phase of the fight, as I call it, and it's way too easy to lose your concentration and die here, so focus on your placement at all times. The rest of the fight is more of the same, with more bombs, Evil Earth AoEs, transformations and knockbacks, etc., with a minor exception that in addition there is now Rightward and Leftward Landslide. Stay close to the boss and move to the safe zone to not get thrown off, as obviously he will do a landslide AoE to either his left or his right. Initially this seems like such a complicated fight, but when you realise it's just about dodging, then it's actually not that bad at all. Either way, I hope this helped in some way to you. Thank you kindly for watching. I look forward to making guides on the Savage version of this, and I'll see you all next time.